Now here I am, doing everything I can. Alright, let's see. Let's get this. Alright, good. It's fixed, so it's not. Yeah. Alright. Now here I am, doing everything I can. That song's stuck in my head now, damn it. Alright. My voice. You. Get it out of here. Now here I am. Oh. Now here I am, being tarded all the time. Alright. Okay, so I have to do it in here every time. Alright. Alright. Let's see, where is it? I think I had a playlist, I think, right? I think I had a playlist. Of just like stuff I could use for streams. If I did, I don't seem to have that playlist anymore. Well, let's just do that. The songs every YouTuber uses. That'll be fine. Yeah. I feel like turning it down just a little bit on that. Just to have it as kind of like a nice little background thing. Alright, that was the old script idea that I had for it, right? Well, yeah, let's still do it. I was about to say, if chud. What the fuck? Do that just for the sake of testing. Oh yeah, I kind of need it right. Having a bit of a fuck up. Let me see if British friend. He is. Let me see if I can yap with him. Oh, now it... Huh? Did it stop? Like, what happened? Did it just take forever to actually post the stream in the server? Oh, that's funny. Alright. Alright. Let me just update the names here. So instead of just update children, it's update section, and then we have update area for the area script. And also, why is this all of a sudden really low? I do not want to play with the volume slider while I'm trying to do stuff. Okay, I did spell that right. Good. Oh. I'm a dumbass. Forgot to... Anyway. I just didn't want to leak DMs, that's why. Alright.
What's up?
Alright. So, I am attempting to make your standard arcade rail shooters. So think of Time Crisis and the like.
Right.
And at this point in time, trying to get the actual system to work where the camera will actually move and new sections will appear and things like that.
Uh-huh.
So I have it broken down right now into sections and areas, and then the whole basis is that once all the targets are done in a section, the section will remove itself from queue, and once all the sections are gone, the area will then update to basically notify that, hey, this is done, and then if all the areas are gone, then that means the level is over. And then just trying to also tag that along with the cameras, so that the camera will move along, and instead of teleporting around like with the with Cryo Crisis like that one, it's going to lerp two positions,
Yeah. Makes sense.
and with that, also have a cover point. So when you're reloading and to try to dodge like that, it has its own little point for that. So more of just trying to figure everything out right now. Right now, you can go in and kill the targets and things like that, but it's the updating and also trying to get the camera system to work that's being the pain in the ass.
What like specifically?
It's more of just my dumbass not being able to put everything together.
Okay, so what you currently have is you can shoot targets and they go away, yeah?
Yeah,
And you've got things set up as in like you have camera nodes, you have everything, like you said, you've got everything
yeah.
segmented into what is and isn't. Then so what are you currently writing right now? Like what are you trying to do in this Amelia moment?
Right now, it's the process of the actual camera system itself before anything
Okay,
else.
so to have a camera for like, do you have a defined path it needs to go down?
Yeah, I have the camera points dotted out along the actual level.
Okay, and just turn it. I did
Yeah, I think the
turn
stream.
again.
Yeah, the streaming. The stream link is in content.
Oh, we live.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Just wanted
yeah, yeah.
Hey, I can see you got a camera, you got some red boxes, green arrows,
Yeah.
level manager area with some sections.
Yeah. So within each camera point, it basically contains data and that for traveling, and then whether or not you're stopping here to actually shoot or if you're just traveling to another point.
Nothing else.
And then
So
the cover as well.
first thing you should probably just do is have the camera because so where's your camera? Camera is under gameplay.
Yeah.
You obviously don't want to teleport, but a lerp is basically just a teleport with a formula added to it.
Right.
Or except yeah, it's a one-time speed.
I think my dumbass is just more of trying to figure out the situation because, like, with the Cryo Crisis one, it was area triggers that did it. I mean, I guess I could maybe do.
No, yeah,
area
it's just
trigger.
instead of an area trigger. So on your typical arcade rail shooter, right?
Mhm.
You start your game. It does like typically it does an animation of a character loading their weapon, and then it walks you down the rail. So for this, I would either make more points that are just traversal points for it to lerp between, or just genuinely lerp it from this position straight to the next position it has to go to, but give the code enough time that it does that over, a speed that makes sense to be going down the corridor.
Right. Let me see. Like maybe on ready. No, actually, no. That could be just handled within the camera system of like on ready that it triggers the next location.
Because what's the intent of this is this for like making the toolkits like you've done in the past, or just hey, you want to make a rail shooter?
I wanted to make a rail shooter.
Okay. Because the way I would do it in my brain is, the rails are often rather rigid.
Mhm.
Of the arcade games I've played, it's you're on a screen, then it does an animation to move to the next screen, and then you've got like a corridor screen, which is a moving screen where you are slowly moved down it, and things pop out left and right.
Right.
And also, technically, I was on a literal rail shooter because there are not roller coasters, but there are rides that do it as well.
Right.
You're on a track when you're doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would probably do a series of like, because typically they're literally called nodes. So when you are making a racing game, for example, you plot nodes in the center of your track,
Mhm.
and you basically have it so as long as you pass by X number of nodes slash don't jump to a major degree with accounting for shortcuts, you can track down the middle of a line. So you would is if you can make it more dynamic or whatever if you just have more camera points for it to transition through, while still having your main camera points as like, okay, you start here. This is gameplay section 1, and then it looks like you have like the dive behind cover is what you sounded like you're
Yeah.
saying. So that would more so be, rather than a camera point, I would probably make that like a. Then again, depends on specific. Like either you have it so any type of cover is a specific way. Like you've got it there. You've got 2 arrows there.
Yeah.
One, I presume, is full cover. One is half cover.
The reason for this is to like you see in some at like with Time Crisis where they kind of like peek out before they end up going into the spot where they end up being where you're shooting, and then it's the back and forth between the actual cover piece and then the actual like firing.
So half cover is like a peak.
Yeah. Well, the peak
it
not,
could be used. It could be used for both gameplay and transition to normal shooting.
Yeah.
You could have it be half cover, but now you can't see as much. But then for no cover, you can shoot everyone, but now you're out. And then full cover, well, you can't shoot anyone. You're just regenerating health or reloading or whatever.
Yeah.
What I would probably do is I would start with these points, like just temporarily, just to get some code working. Move your camera to the first main point here, and then just get lerping between these 2 duck and cover points to see how you get the movement of the camera working.
Right.
And then when you've got this long corridor of nothing to go down, which is more of an intro sequence, then you would set the camera back to its default position and then do that lerp, do that process. And again, I think your best bet is to actually make your quote rail, which is add more points, rather than just point at the start, point at the end of the corridor. But again, it's really up to how you want to implement it. If you want it to be like a dash between 2 points, plotting extra points doesn't serve you as much, and you just lerp between the positions, and or you would or you just set one closer to the end of the corridor, so you lerp between those, and then lerp from that one at the end of the corridor to the game position.
Alright, and then with that... Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to modify the audio buses here, because ow.
What's going on?
Yeah. It just kind of caught me off guard, because I'm using Left 4 Dead 2 pistol sound, basically, as like a placeholder.
Oh, I got the stream muted, so yeah, not bad.
It's all good, it's all
I
good.
didn't want to hit double, so. Oh. The audio buzz.
Oh right, it's because it doesn't have because I changed the name of this. That's why.
Ah.
I forgot to update it here. All right. All right. For dev purposes, that's the reason why I have practically unlimited ammo at the moment, just so that I could just quickly get through stuff. All right.
So I would just do like an input of like a test button, like space or whatever, right click maybe, I don't know, and just have it so that it moves between the cover and current point.
Right.
And then, so because you're currently using update camera system, and all it's doing is moving its transform to the new point, right? Yeah. So I would add a argument into your update camera system that's the variable for how much you want it to lerp.
Right.
Like the weight, that's it, right? Because the weight is how long it takes, right?
Right.
Or how quick it is. I'd have to check the function of the thing. You've been doing it more than me at this point.
Considering most of these all have their own thing, let me just check. So this would be travel lerp speed. So it would be that. So copy value. That's not. There we go.
Remind me, big number faster or big number slower?
It's been a hot minute, so I'd have to find
I'll
out.
just look it up. From 0 to 1, representing progress. 0.5 means the midpoint, so big number is faster. Oh, you can also tween. Nice. Wow. So the the number is the percentage. So one is the maximum, zero is like zero's start,
Ah,
one's the end. So if you want to move quickly, you would just it would depend on how quick the update happens, right? So is this update camera system's only called once, right? It's not called multiple times.
yeah, it's only called once.
Yeah, so you just need to add a time requirement and then make it so, like, let's say you want it to take 3 seconds. You just do, you make the lerp wait, take the one, like, so you make a little loop of it, like an update,
Hmm.
or you put it in an update function, like your every second tick function, whatever the one is for,
Physics
or whatever
process,
it's
I
called
think.
for Godot. Um, and you would just like every frame, or like use delta because delta is often used as well. You just use delta time to be like, hey, over time, move, and then the value that would be tied to the starting point camera is how long it takes, and then you would divide how long it takes one by how long it takes to get the lerp. Right. So if it takes 1 second to go from zero straight to one, and you want it to take 3 seconds, you divide the wait by three so that each happens. So like if your thing's running at 60 frames per second and you want to lerp from between two positions, it would be 1/60 if you want it to take a second. Right?
Right.
That would be the weight of the lerp. I think.
Cannot convert argument 2 from float to transform 3D. Oh, is lerp only for floats?
Lerp cannot convert argument two. An argument two is a new point dot travel lerp speed. What is travel? Or is that argument one?
There's global camera transform to new point trap. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's lerp
just
speed. Duh, I'm being retarded.
uh, yeah, lerp speed is 0 to 1.0, so you can't. So whereas
Huh?
yeah, you lerp between two positions, and that's the weight of the position.
Yeah, but it is one of those things where it's just like, huh? Because it's giving me a void.
Um, do I know this?
Can you? Oh, the
Let
script.
me look. There's
Uh,
some delays. I need you to show me the phone.
the camera system.
Okay, so
Okay.
the transform, you lerp from its original position to the new position with the lerp weight.
Mm-hmm.
The lerp weight is the speed, and the camera point. What's its starting point speed at in the editor?
The starting point. Oh, I fucking instinctively did the wrong thing. The starting point's over here, and it has no speed to start with. It effectively like moving
No,
to the
no.
new
Click
position.
on it in the fucking editor so I can see its properties.
Yeah, it's by
Also,
default as
well,
one. So
okay, it's still 1.0. Because the example they use is physics process delta, t plus equals delta times zero point 0.4, and then its position is position A dot lerp to position B. Obviously, you could do lerp position A position B, um, and then it uses t as that delta, so it's like it gets multiplied by 0.4 each time, and it takes, let's see, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, like 3.5, 4 seconds to get there.
Mm.
So maybe use the physics process as an update and lerp like that instead of trying to lerp on the update.
Huh. It's interesting because it's only doing it once, right? And then it just stops. And normally
Well, yeah,
I don't see it do that, but mostly. But then again, it's also because I do it in a. Hold on. Let me.
yeah, you do it in physics, and physics ticks every time, and so it doesn't get called only once. So the lerp function basically moves between the two positions. Like it remembers the position that you start with, and it knows the position it's going to, and the thing that changes each time is the t, is the lerp weight. So do func underscore physics process delta, right? Or yeah, okay, you did. And then what you want to feed in, you want to make a variable that changes to like make a variable t equals 0.0. Because I'm just using the example in the documentation. So your launcher delay is like fucking miles behind.
Yeah.
And you would just, in the physics process, do t plus equals delta times 0.4. We're just using the example from the documentation. If you think it's too fast or too slow, we can change that.
T equals delta times 0.4.
T plus equals delta times 0.4.
Okay.
So every physics process, it takes the time difference and multiplies it by 0.4. And this is going to be the lerp weight.
Okay.
And then you just update camera system, the point you want to go to, and t. So just new underscore point.
Yeah.
So point. Well, I mean, you don't want to start point because you're at the starting point, right?
Right. I'm making the var now.
Yeah. New point. Your update camera system function and your variable have the same name.
You're right.
I don't know if that causes an issue, but yeah. But you want it to latch between itself? Or does the camera not have a starting? Well, the camera doesn't have a starting point, and you allocated the one it's moving forward to starting point, right?
Right.
Okay. Is your internet good enough for you to stream on Discord at the same time you stream?
I mean,
YouTube?
we could try it. So.
Yeah, give that a try so that I can have a more like immediate.
Yeah.
Shut the stream. Right. Do-do-do-do. So if you for upgrade camera system core, expect at least 2 but received 0.
Oh, this is a. It's fine.
Another one.
Yeah. It's,
Okay, so when I said make a new camera point thing, I meant like because we're going to move between 2 points, but starting point and new camera point are basically doing the same thing right now, so you don't need the 2 variables, but leave them there for now because when we do want to let between 2 points, it'll be useful to distinguish between them. But so yeah, it should now just give it a try.
Yeah. Hey.
So it used the, and if you wanted it to be a bit slower, I presume just make the numbers smaller.
I guess at this point it would be
because the size of the number is the size of the step, basically. Yeah, that was a bit slower. Make it something real small, like 0125. Yeah, see? There you go. I mean, you got camera moving between starting points for you. There you go.
Yeah.
So now that it's working, you just have to give it like tie it into some input logic. Right. So obviously, this when it starts, you want it to move from where the camera starts to the first plane, but you want to be able to move move on input between the points that are right there, and you want to be able to feed which point it moves to by just knowing what point you're on, I suppose. Except obviously that's like with how we did the or at least how I told you and then you redid how to do the cryo crisis for like Resident Evil camera style, where it knows what the thing you're on knows which one comes next. You'll have to separate that from ducking. So there should be 2 variables. 3 in this case, but there should be 2. There should be where you go next when all enemies are done, and where you hide if you can. So there should be 2 points attached to any point.
Yeah.
It can be null for the hiding one, but any point you move to that isn't a hide point should always know the next place you're going. And the hide point would inherit its next point from the thing it's a hide point of.
Right. Here's what it is, the current script that I have, or at least the variables for it right now.
So is action point, what does that mean?
Action point is where you are actually able to go in and take action, to shoot, to take cover, and things like that. So
it
would theoretically in this, it would stop it from continuing to just traveling on. So if this was off, it would just travel to the next one, travel to the next one, travel to the next one.
Oh, so there are things to be killed.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you've got cover point, you've got next camera point. So there are 2 points in cover there.
Yeah, there's
how is it like distinguished?
This is more of a travel point. So it travels to this point and then it steps out. So again, it's to kind of make it so that it looks more like
but what I mean is I get the purpose.
Yeah.
But how is that attached to anything in the episode? Like how does so it goes from cover to that point to action, or does it go from action to that point to cover?
So
is this for coming out or coming in?
It's for night. It's effectively a setup for kind of like the key to let you know, hey, action's about you're about to get into a firefight. What I mean is that you start here, you show up to this one, and then with this one they'll step out, and then that's when action starts. And then
because the camera looked like we were moving to the one that's already out.
Yeah, we were doing that already as just like for the sake of testing things out.
Okay. So you want it to move to the one that's behind cover to give you a preview of the enemies.
Yeah.
Then it will move to the action one, and then the action one, you can go behind cover to the one that's further behind cover and pop back. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So it would be, so if we were to number them, the one the camera's on is 0, the one slightly behind cover is 1, the one that's out in the action is 2, and then the one behind cover isn't a number, it's more like 2.1. It's like
Yeah.
2 sub. It's like sub of 2.
Yeah.
So I would probably make cover points children of the action points, so that it's easier in the little editor there to know which is which. Just at a glance, this is a cover point.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like you can see it's a cover point by the name cover point, but it would be good to make it a child
Right.
of the cover point, so that not only can you quickly move to the child because you know a action point has a cover point by just checking in code, but also because then when you finish the action, if you're behind cover and you somehow finish the action, say there's like a grenade, and you can throw the grenade and go behind cover and all the enemies are killed.
Right.
The check for all the enemies being killed, if you're on the child point, the child can just go, parent, where am I going next? And then you know, obviously you could also just make it, hey, go back to parent, then lerp from parent.
That's probably what I would end up doing, but
yeah. I think best, like easiest way for you, so that just looking at the nodes, you know what, is to make the cover point connected to the point you are going to go into cover from. You know,
right.
In the little node tree, just make it a child.
Yeah, and at that point, I don't need to do an export variable because it's just going to be a child and it's going to be right there. So
Yeah. Like, it's still good to have a variable, but you can find that variable by just getting child. So
right.
And unless you think of other things that need to be attached to that point that aren't already variables other than individual nodes, then yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't work. And then yeah, you just have it so you press your like cover key, it goes to that child, reloads, and then you press it again, it comes back out. And then obviously the numbers are a bit awkward because we're using, like, the slight problem I have is that I wish that the universe operated on a tick system, which it technically does. We have plank time, but I wish like I could. Technically, you can do like CPU write numbers, but even then, you don't know the exact speed that your hardware is going to be. I wish that we actually lived in a simulation, so it was easier to code time. Otherwise, you get the issue where, well, technically, I intend for this to be 20 per second, but depending on your hardware, like
that's the reason for using Delta.
I hate the material. I hate the material universe.
I get it.
Like Delta is like I have to guess, and then I can't guarantee 20 to someone, and then it feels like I'm lying. Like if I say this will last 20 seconds, and technically it lasted 19.99999999999 seconds, I feel like I've lied to someone, and that bothers me to an irrational degree, because like, well, that's the material universe. You kind of have to deal with the fact that the number's not going to be perfect, floating point included. It's just like, ugh. Give me a computer the size of the universe so I can dictate everything it does, please. Like it'd be super useful if I could just tell a thing to take 2 seconds and the function just knew what that meant, rather than me having to say, okay, every frame take a number. If that number is bigger than 1 second has passed, we now know what a second is. You agree with me, Mr. Code? Yes, okay. Why did you take 2 seconds? Well, the time between the seconds, it took me a while to write it down. So now it's been 2 seconds since the last time I wrote it down. But it hadn't been 1 second yet. It had been 0.8 seconds. So no code ran. And then it took me 1.2 seconds to write the next one. So therefore, it's like, oh, fuck you. It's why I kind of like I like when someone else has already done it for me and I can just rely on them being proper, even though it's imperfect. Like Minecraft is a tick runs 20 ticks per second,
Mm-hmm.
And that number is not always true. Sometimes the server is really laggy, or they've modified the server to be faster than 20 ticks per second because they're madmen. But if you're making a Minecraft function, you know that every time a tick happens, 1/20 of a second, the game will try to make the call. Rather than me having to define when a tick happens. It's like, how quick, okay, Unity, tell me how quick you poll the update function. Well, it depends on hardware. Well, that's not fucking useful, bitch. I want to do it. I want clear and precise. Is it 0.1? Is it 0.01? Depends on hardware. And then there's even a variable in the editor you can like put for what you want it to try and be. But then it's like that's an attempt. That's not a guarantee. You're not going to guarantee me 100 frames per second. I hate hardware limitations. It's like if I was cool, if I was a big Billy Big Bollocks, I could figure out ways to circumvent hardware limitations and solve the issues myself. But I'm not that big Billy Big Bollocks. I'm not John Carmack. Sorry. I'm not. I'm not Chris Sawyer. I can't write in assembly code.
I'm not. Oh god, I'm not.
I'm not that guy, pal.
I'm not that guy. I was thinking. I'm not Terry Davis. I'm not the creator.
I'm not Terry Davis. I'm not. I have not created God's Temple.
OS, yeah.
Temple OS, but yeah. So, in terms of loading between areas, obviously you would just mark the camera point, because that's probably the easiest way to do it, rather than trying to do like if it's handcrafted area, it's best if you handcraft the loading rather than handcraft. It's obviously easier if you just let the loading use like occlusion culling or whatever. But I think it's better if you just be like, at this corner, this one has now unloaded, so don't load that. Like each camera point as you progress, if it needs to load or unload, and you mark it as a loading camera point rather than loading a bit more because you didn't properly cull things in the code is a bit better than not loading anything because the automatic system bonked. I think handcrafting the way you load it, especially since it's a rail shooter, it's not like the game can accidentally go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, if you've made a rail shooter that you can somehow go out of bounds in, you've made a pretty shitty rail shooter.
Oh man, just the thought of that is really funny to me. It's just like minding your own business, thinking of playing a rail shooter, right? And then all of a sudden, you're just able to walk around for no reason.
Like the only way I could conceive of that type of bug happening is the cover button works no matter what point you're on. There isn't a cover point. You can always take cover. And if you cover between transitions between 2 points, somehow you just break off the rail. And so you're out of bounds, but now you're stuck because you're not on the rail anymore.
Yeah.
You don't get to travel. You just clip out of bounds and now you're stuck. Fuck you. You jump off the tracks. But you should be able to account for that by not letting people jump off the tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
There wouldn't suddenly be an extra track that you're following now that you've clipped out of bounds into the back ribs.
Yeah, it's
So yeah, you've made children. You've got your lerp between the points. Just add an input. Whatever your input system you're using is, just add an input for ducking behind cover. It will be the same input to go into cover and out of cover. Obviously, a reload input when you have ammo will be required. Yeah, you can still have the variable for cover point. Just you get it from child as it looks like you're typing up. Um, and the great thing about doing it like this is if you forget to assign a cover point, you get a nice handy dandy null reference exception in your code when it runs.
Yeah.
It's like I'm checking for a child.
Yep.
I'm checking for a child and you didn't give me one. What are you doing? Do all action points have cover? Like, is that an intent that you did intend to do?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because obviously, as is, it's assuming that all action points have cover.
Yeah.
Which maybe you just want a bit, but obviously that's presumably the mechanic.
Yeah.
Shoot, reload, take cover, rather than just this is the part where you have to just take the bullets, bitch. Then again, you could do that. You could have it be
John Wick and just you got to shoot them all before they kill you.
Yeah. You don't have cover, but there are enemies that shoot slow, so you have to shoot them before they get you, and they pop up in an order that is human respondable, not responsible.
Yeah.
Human respondable. Kind of like your typical shooting minigame. In many games, Zelda has it as well, where the rupees come along in an order that's respondable to a human. But if you tried doing it not in that order, you would fuck up. But that would be something to come down the line if you wanted that type of challenge in a specific section. For now, just do it as is and address that when you get to it.
I guess
so you got your cover point.
I guess to some extent you could have like a bool of if it's a traveling action point, and then that's where. But then again, I feel like you could still have cover on a.
You could just have you could just have it be that if you want a special case, you make a special case rather than accounting for a special case that you might not even implement in the future.
Right.
Like if you want an example where, say, it's an action point. Like, let's say there's like a charging bull, and that charging bull is at the end of the hallway. This is an action. You cannot take cover. Rubble has fallen to your left. You are now stuck. You have to kill the bull before it gets to you. You can't take cover. Your only actions are shoot and reload. So you have to shoot, reload, shoot, reload, shoot, reload, and it dies before getting to you. There's no need to take cover in that scenario because it can't shoot you.
Right.
So there's no point coding cover, but this is still an action point because you have the ability to shoot and reload. That's just an example. But again, that can just be a piece in the code that's just like open action point or something, and you just do that when you get to you add that code when you want to add that thing, rather than getting in the weeds now of being like, well, I don't know, so if the transform is new point, okay, so update once you get there. So set the new point, move there, and if it's there, what? Just loop pass. Oh, I would probably you will need a reset for the T, by the way. So don't put it in physics process because that's every tick. Once it's done, put in there is traveling rules false, put T equals 0.0. So once you get to the point, reset the timer tick thing.
Right.
Also, in that physics process, that 0.125, that number there needs to be a variable that you can input into.
Yeah, and I was setting it up of the lerp speed.
The problem is actually, I would put those in because you just made that is traveling boolean. I would put those both in an is traveling check.
Right.
I'm assuming traveling you are using when you travel between any 2 points, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because currently every tick it sets the time, counts up, updates the camera, blah 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 blah. But you only want it to happen when you're actually traveling. You don't want to do it like we're fine with it start doing that at the start because well yeah we do want to alert between the start position and that was the test.
Right.
But we don't want it to do that like and then what you just do when you start the level on ready traveling equals true.
Right.
So that it starts and moves and then gets set off so that you get put into the action. The only issue for let's say you want to move between so you start at the end of the corridor, you move to the half cover, then you move out into the action. Current code would move you from the start of the corridor to that not action point, and then it won't then move to the action because it is all set traveling to false, and nothing will then set traveling to true to then have it move again. But the thing that does set traveling to true is what should also pick the lerp speed. But the problem with the lerp speed is it can't just be the variable like you've got it right now, because let's say you want it to be quick, like the lerp speed is how quick it is, sure, but that's how quick it is as a normalized fraction, normalized float, so between 0 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want it faster, you want it closer to 1. If you want it slower, you want it. So it's like it's a 1 over the number.
Right.
Is what you want. But that's fine for now. That's just let me check. So set traveling to true, then move to this certain point to the start. Right? Then,
Actually,
since traveling is true, it will move, and then if it's in the right position, set it to false. If not, it's still true.
Actually,
then
now that I think about it, I don't think I need lerp weight in this. I just would be using T, wouldn't I?
well, no, you need lerp weight specifically because it's because you don't want just delta,
Right.
and lerp weight is the T.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I had to reread the script a second there because for a second there I was like, wait, we already have this. Why do I have to do the like? Anyway, yeah, I was being the dumb.
It's being fed into the function specifically because it's getting updated every tick, as opposed because if you just kept T in the global.camera transform lerp blah blah blah. That would still, I think, technically work, but it's better to feed your variables into your functions rather than just calling a potential global function that might, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then the lerp speed is important specifically because that's the like T is required. Like, I mean, you could technically remove lerp weight, I suppose. And changed lerp weight to T, but I think lerp weight as is reads better in the code, even if it's technically less efficient. Like it's like one extra line of code. It's not going to break the bank in terms of processing.
Right. Next camera.
New point equals new. Is that I'm reading? New point equals new point.
Yeah.
Okay. New point equals next camera. Okay, good. So, okay, I'm reading this. Update the camera. If it's in the position it wants to go to, and if it's an action point, stop traveling. Then set the timer to 0. By the way, the timer will still have to be set to 0 if you want to move to the action point anyway. So, because you want to lerp between the cover and the thing. Like, the lerp would be super fucking high anyway, but you still don't want it to just be an instant teleport, do you? So, like, you want it to be a lerp. So, new point equals new point dot next camera point. should also have a t equals 0.0, and since it's on both ifs, it shouldn't be in either. It should be in the if position equals new point. It should just be put in there after the if. Okay. Then if it isn't, set traveling to true. Do you really need to? I don't think you really need to set traveling to true. That's like every frame it's setting traveling to true. You don't need that.
Okay.
Set traveling to true is done by something else, not by the if else, and remove the else because you don't need it. Right. So what is required is so that new point equals new camera point. That you're assigning because of the start, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the lerp. And then so currently what's happening is every tick it's adding the delta time at the multiple of the speed. Then it's running the function. Now, are we at the point yet? No? Okay, jump straight down to moving. Okay, good. Yeah, that's good. And then that sets to false. That doesn't set to true. That doesn't set to false, so we will come back and do this again. Yeah, I think that's alright. I think that's all good.
I'm just thinking of, like, since only the ready sets it to true, and then we have it set to false, and then it's meant to trigger again at some point. Like, I'm trying to figure out where the true would be.
But that's when all the enemies die.
I guess in that regard, like, it would just be another script that would just be like, hey, set the camera system's variable of is traveling to true, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You just make a function that can be just like just camera system dot travel or whatever.
Yeah, I could probably
it would be tied to whatever, but because currently this is agnostic to its current position. Mm-hmm. It just knows its current position because that's where it is, and it knows its next position because that's where its current position says to go.
Right.
Yeah, so ready, and then once it gets to the position, it knows where it goes next. Yeah.
Just to make it, one line essentially in there. So,
because technically you do this, you could as long as the variable is public, and your thing has access to the script, you should be able to just be like. But then again, this is the issue with me using Unity logic in Godot because that's not perfect. I think technically, whatever is moving it anyway. So what actually determines when the characters die? Which one of them is it? Is it the area.gd?
It's the section noticing that it doesn't have any.
As in script wise.
It's the section noticing that there is no child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no child. Okay, good. So you might remember because I forget every time I come back to Godot. If you do want to call a function from a separate script, how do you do that in Godot?
In this case, what I have done is referring to the parent of this, and then getting and then calling the function like that as such.
And so the update section function is from what?
The update section is from the section which would be the parent of the target script.
Okay, but I mean, like, and where's that called? Sorry, where's this update?
It's called in the on-death animation. So after it dies,
so it dies and calls the script of its parent. Okay, right. So
yeah.
right. So to call the script of the camera system requires going to its node and then running finding its node with like get node, then running the function. Right. Okay. Good. I do vaguely remember that because what you want to happen is once the update section realizes, oh, I'm empty, bitch, you want it to then call the camera system and say, hey, travel.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be too hard.
which I think I'm slowly getting.
Oh yeah,
Right,
because
on
it's doing update area, and then area. Um, so an
updates.
area is made up of sections.
Yes,
So you could probably do it in the area, right?
probably could, but there's also the level manager, which I don't have anything in it at the moment. Which I think I
Is
could.
that managing the entire level, or is that managing levels generally?
Yeah, that's managing the entire level for the individual
Okay.
level,
And
and
then
then.
an area is defined in sections.
Hmm.
Can you show me the editor window, not the script, but like the 3D editor window, and like show me with your mouse approximately what a section is?
So sections are basically what each action area is. So every time you go up to an action area, is its own
Okay,
section.
because
So
I'm seeing. Okay, so is everything that's currently loaded right now the area? Yeah.
yeah,
Not. I say loaded. Technically, when you make more area. So this right now to you is one area, and if you were to add more, it would become another area.
yeah,
Yes. Okay. Cool.
yeah.
So I would just make it so that um yeah, the transitions between between sections is done when the section ends, and the transition between areas is done when the area ends.
Right.
And then because you know when each transition's happening, right, when the section ends and when an area ends,
Hmm.
you can tell in code if you need to load new shit because you're approaching a new area. Now, if you wanted to be a bit more forthright, you would preload. You would be like, I'm on the second to last section. Load the next area for when this area is about to end. But that's like optimization stuff and making sure pop in doesn't happen,
Hmm.
as opposed to getting it functional, which is more important first. Be
Yep.
right back.
Alrighty, brother. All right. And then with that, what I'm thinking is going into this level manager. Oh, does it not go with the prefabs camera point, like the scenes? Hmm. not what I wanted to do. Come on. Legitimately fucking forgot that. Lamau. Good thing that search is easy to find. Let's see, I only got 30 minutes left. Whoa, 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 whoa.
How we do it?
Did
All good?
Yeah, I think so, but
What'd you do while I was gone?
a little bit of just my brain is fried. What the fuck? Okay. Setting up the.
What did you?
I set up essentially a method for the camera points to work because right now it's not being exact on the actual location, and because of that, you never get the camera transform equals.
Equals. You need it to be around the area. So
Yeah. So I've set up an area trigger that's supposed to work.
I mean, doesn't it? It basically reaches. Can't you just do like if t is greater than or equal 1 or something? Right?
That might work and would have been a lot easier to do.
Because the lerp speed, quote, and the lerp weight is between 0 and 1. 1, you've reached the objective.
So like something
So
like
if
9,
greater than or equal to
5 or something like that.
No, just do if it's greater than or equal to 1, then you're done. Rather than equals new point dot transform.
You said greater than or equal to 1?
0.0. But yeah.
Oh, right, because the area trigger is still... Yeah.
That just looks like it is a valid core, non-existent function.
Okay, so it just still stays there.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a problem with getting a 1, right? So let's read. So reopen the physics process just so we can make sure. Okay, so every tick, if we're traveling, do the multiplier, then create a timer. Oh, so that was you trying to do a timeout. So then we do an update with t. Instead of if t, do if lerp wait. Just because we're passing through anyway, might as well. So if we are say arrived, did it ever say arrived in the code, or does it like clear when you exit out? Okay.
I'll do it again just to...
Strange.
That's the reason why I started trying to use like an area trigger to do it.
Strange. Oh.
It wouldn't work, I think. Would it? So that way there's like a little bit of room to work with. Or at least that's the idea.
But straight up, I'm seeing an example that says if t greater than or equal 1.0. Maybe maybe clamp it.
It is. It stops moving for the most part. Like so, if like maybe it's one of those things where it's like if the camera is no longer moving like a certain amount, maybe we could do something like that.
Yeah, but that always gets a bit awkward. You don't really want to rely on that because there's such thing as too small.
Right.
So, I mean, you could always subtract the positions and see if the distance is greater than a certain number. You know, like if you were to manually put the player camera, like open up the scene before you finish writing this, but don't press play. If you were to manually move the camera to the position, right, but don't get it exact, just move it within like an acceptable arrangement. Okay, now check its position, and I'll check the position of the other thing, and we'll gauge just how accurate we kind of really want to be. So minus 1.7, 0.8, 2.7. Now click the other one. Minus 1.1. Ah, it's probably the minus 1.1 minus.
Wait. The I was thinking of the action point one. That's the incorrect. There we go. So this is the correct one.
Okay. Minus 1.68, so only a 0.2 difference. 0.7, basically nothing. 2.6, basically nothing. So, I mean, as long as the distance is, as long as the three numbers you get out of the subtraction are, okay, move it to the, move your camera right now to the cover position. That's the wrong one. Control Z again. You moved the wrong thing.
I am Dummkopf.
Dummkopf! Okay, so what's its position now?
Its position 1.9. I don't think it shows.
Okay, so it's
does
a
it show
point.
the,
It's about a point. It's about a point two off.
Does it show the global transform, or is this just the? I think this might be local. So
Well, it looks like it's moved. Like, just hold the with this focused. Hold the red arrow and just drag it back and forth. Yeah. Okay. So the distance between the cover and the position the thing is about 0.1 anyway. So yeah, just make it so as if it's less than or equal to 0.1. I presume subtracting a 3D transform from a 3D transform lets you compare it to a new 3D transform.
I'd assume.
Right? It's a vector 3D, so like if that minus that equals, and then or sorry, less than or equal to, and then just 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. I do realize actually that the vertical position probably doesn't change at all. But let's say you want something that goes upstairs and you have that in the scene,
Right.
then that's why it would matter. Normally for this you would do a like distance between 2 points formula. Like you'd get the vector and you'd measure the length of that vector, which you can do. It's just off the top of my head, I can't remember how you do that. Probably three-dimensional Pythagoras. But anyway, that should work. Was it not like cannot subtract a transform 3D from a transform 3D? Okay.
I think I may have realized what was going wrong, or at least somewhat, is that I wasn't using the global transform.
Probably.
That might be the case. Just for the sake of consistency, have it applied to both.
If you are learning continuously, the value will asymptotically approach the target, but never strictly equal. There's a function called is_equal_approx. Apparently. So so you want if global.camera.global.transform.x. Yeah, so each x, the x, y, and z, if all three are approximately correct, so you put each one, yeah. So you open the bracket, you got the thing in close. Yeah, just print for in the update camera system as it transforms. Give a comment out the if so that it goes away or whatever. So there's no error. Well, okay, just change the if to if true instead. Like don't break up your code. Just change it. Like add an if true. So comment out that line and just add a line that says if true. No, don't leave that because that might be useful. Yeah, and then just if true. Okay. And then change that global, like do print and then have it print the camera's position. Doesn't matter if it's going to print infinitely. We just want to see what that is, if that's the numbers we're looking for. Okay. Well, we're going super fucking slow.
Yeah, for some reason that's strange.
Probably because it's printing its position every frame. But hey, instead of every frame printing its transform position, put it in the else. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder.
Just for the sake of this.
Fair enough. Just gonna print a revid infinitely, but
Why is it going slow now? That's like I was having the issue earlier of because of the like after
comment out the print and see. Oh, actually, go up. I'll just notice something that might be an issue. Await. So you comment out that await thing as well, just temporarily, because that's not useful for us right now. What? Before we commented out the position. Oh no, we commented out arrived.
So yeah, I think printing its position is genuinely like super fucking slow. We're faster this time.
Yeah, I changed the lerp speed of it.
Ah, yeah.
So now it's moving faster.
Okay, so it's a like. Okay, can you pause it without stopping it? Oh, okay. So let it lerp, and once it gets to the approximate position, which is like there-ish, pause it, but don't stop it. Can we see the? Okay, so the number we get, X is. Huh?
Yeah, that
Why are there?
there's 3 for X,
fucking...
3 for Y, 3 for Z. What? Huh?
Maybe it's like. Oh, let's fucking just Google it. We were printing global.camera.transform.
My only guess is maybe it's also including the hurt box. That's my only guess.
Maybe that.
I don't know why it would be, but for the sake of trying it out, I'll hide these for a second.
Still 3XYZ0, or whatever the fucking fourth one is. Okay, remind me. Global dot camera. That's just the camera, right? That's not you defining anything as the camera.
Yeah. It's the camera that's in the scene, and on ready, it sets itself as the global camera just so that it can be referenced from anywhere.
Okay. Camera.globaltransform.origin to get their absolute world position as a vector 3 or vector 2. But that doesn't sound right. The global transform will be able to 3D. Just from viewer to that's like it's global transform. Where the fuck's it printing? All 4 like that. What if you change it to just .x in the print line? Can I find in base transformed 3D? That doesn't sound right. Transform 3D. GD script. Okay, let's see what the transform 3D has. Okay, so it has its basis and it has its origin. The origin is the translation offset of the transform. So that's for like when it's like in 3D space, this can be seen as a position. Whereas the basis is the 3 axes, which are the rotation, scale, and shear. So we do want origin.
Yeah, as you can see, the origin is the one we don't want. The base is its kind of like its its rotation, its size, and its whether or not it's been sheared, which is its like spatial translations. So you want it's transformed origin or something like that. Ta-da! This is partly why I just stick with Unity, because I'm used to not autistic fucking nomenclature. Unity and Unreal are different, they have different versions, but they're not so fucking silly as to, oh no, your transform is all of your transforms, whereas like technically it's like transform dot position, right? If you want its position.
Hmm.
But still, it's position, not origin. You are not him. Don't call it that.
Oh yeah, we have to still do this for the other ones, right?
Yeah. X, Y, and Z. You just do and Y and Z. So yeah. That's probably the easiest way of doing it. Is underscore equal underscore upright GB script. 1 second. I mean, equal approx might be too precise, but still.
Hmm. Hey, we got it.
Did it work? Nice. So equal approx isn't too bad, genuinely. It's because, like the thing I read earlier said, lerping uses an asymptote, and if you ever plot 1/x, right, it the asymptote is what basically is the approaching infinity, and it never actually hits infinity. That's why we just divide 1/0 as undefined. Not because technically there's more than one solution to 1/0. Positive and negative infinity, I believe, are the ways that the graph looks like it's pointing towards. It's actually just because, well, technically, by the rate of change, it will never actually reach infinity. Ergo, we can't actually plot the position on the chart. Even if we had an infinite line and an infinite thing, we still can't plot it because it never actually reaches the zero. Is the weird thing of it. At least like in the physical world. I presume you could probably super task some shit about it, but why does it say arrived if the poking around the corner isn't an action point? Am I blind?
Yeah, it's not an action point. There's the next camera point, and for some reason, it's not.
So the cover point that we're moving to the cover point, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, not the cover point. We're moving to the travel point, right?
Yeah.
And it isn't labeled as an action point, right?
Correct.
You said correct, but I want you to check.
Oh, it's like right there.
Click on it at the end.
It's
okay. Okay. We're on cam point 1. Oh, okay, good. I just didn't realize we were on it.
It's all good.
Okay. And so camera system, when we start, where have you assigned
like, okay, so okay. Camera point 0. Click on that. It points to camera point 1. Okay. Is it because the travel point is really close to the action point?
I don't know.
Do some quick checks, right? Put in print put in a line that's just like, this can go anywhere, but print is equal approx.
I mean, technically speaking, wouldn't that already be a thing that's accepted, considering it's still triggering the print underneath?
Yeah, but I'm doing a specific check here. You didn't actually need now. Put the actual function is underscore equal underscore approx after that text. Like we want to print the result of this check, which will either be true or false. So is underscore equal underscore approx, and now put 2 floats, and those floats will be 0.1 and 0.11.
You
put it in
meant
quotes is equal.
yeah.
Like we're checking
yeah.
the function to see how it works.
Right.
Because
Okay.
I
My brain
could
was
see,
stupid.
but from what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not seeing the page in the GD script. It's not like showing up on my Google search. So. And if we see a shit ton of trues or a shit ton of falses, that should assuage some issues. False. Okay, that's good. That means that when it's triggering, that it's within 0.01.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the position between the travel point and the action point are apart by at least 0.01.
Right.
So it's not that we're too close to the action point. I think there's probably just an order of operation, like an order failure here. Let me sit up rather than on the fucking floor. Anyway, okay.
Yeah. As you can see, it's also triggering.
We're updating the camera. We're moving the camera.
Yeah.
We check if they're equal. If they're equal, if the new point is an action point, set traveling to false. Else, we're moving still. We've reset to 0. And then the new point equals new camera point. Then we move. When does the next camera actually get assigned?
It gets assigned here in the else statement.
Ah, yeah, good. I'm retarded. Okay, so new point equals new point dot next camera point. Then we set action is false. Print moving. Why doesn't it? Why doesn't it?
Which is interesting because it doesn't seem to update the new point. And should I?
It's big. That's new
point.
Underscore camera. Yeah. So instead of new underscore point, that should be new underscore camera point. There we go. See.
Yep.
There we go. I knew there was something. I know you just got to read in order and make sure things make sense. We did it! We did it!
And also, because the action point actually triggers, I actually can shoot compared to previously, which I set up
Well,
so
you
that
can.
way. Yeah.
Ah, see. It was just
That was
okay.
another thing I set up. Yeah.
Obviously, you're gonna want to adjust your speed number because that was super fucking quick.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there you go. I knew it was. It was just yeah. There we go. Equal approx, baby. There's probably a better way of doing it. Like I said, like subtracting the distance of the origin, like normalizing, not normalizing, but taking the origin, like the length of the three-dimensional line that's made by the vector as a singular number is possible. Like, you just take its difference from 0. I think you just okay. 3D Pythagoras is what I'm googling because I swear it's not as simple as. Yeah, a squared plus b squared plus c squared equals d squared. I'm assuming that's true. This method extends the standard by applying it twice, first to find the diagonal at base, and then using the result with the height to find the final space diagonal. Yeah, there's no cube root. So you can find the line, the length of the vector by doing a squared plus b squared plus c squared equals d squared. So you just do you don't care about negatives, so you take the absolute value because we're measuring distance, we're not measuring the I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, I think absolute value works. Well, you said yeah. You get distance from 0. So you subtract yeah, absolute value should work. And then that will get the length, and then you'll get the absolute value of. So yeah, you subtract one from another, get the absolute value, or get the absolute value of the two, and then compare them, subtract those, and get the difference. Maths.
Big maths.
What's that say? Invalid access to travel lap speed on a base object of type. What's that? What does that say?
Nil.
Nil?
Yeah.
So null point, and so it's a null reference or something.
Yeah.
New camera point. Travel lap speed. Invalid
That
access to property.
only happened after me setting it up so that on ready, instead of the standard setup, it's this. The reason for that is because I wanted to basically teleport to the initial camera point, so that way there isn't like any funky business going on.
Okay, so just do the manual version of the. Yeah, just do it like that.
Yeah, that I realized that I didn't have to delete it. I was being stupid.
What's funny is because of the way it asymptotically approaches, it actually kind of gets a nice little delay of it coming around the corner.
Yeah, because I believe I set up a travel wait time on that as well.
Ah, I see. That's actually pretty good then. Yeah. So you say you set up that number, but where does that get used?
That gets used in. Actually, I think that's not getting used right now because the await speed.
Yeah, we commented it out. So yeah, I think it's just because it slowly approaches and doesn't yet trigger the approximately equals.
Yeah.
It gets a nice little delay. Obviously, that isn't preferable. You'd want to have it up to you, not up to the lerp function. But hey, I think it's fine.
Yeah, so far so good. We'll uncomment that and stuff later.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That was cool. Action. And then, yeah, you just have it so that when you kill, it does the next one. Boom.
Yeah.
that person dribbled the ball, stopped, and then dribbled the ball again. Traveling. Or is that double? No, that's double dribble. Traveling is when you stopped dribbling and you took more than 3 steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will probably bid you adieu now that I've helped, uncloud your mind,
Very appreciated.
as well as read through the code with you. I was your... I don't like calling it rubber ducking because it's fucking gay. It's just so cringe. It's so Reddit chungus. Like, I had to explain it to the rubber duck. Bouncing it off of someone is typically the I need to bounce this idea off you.
Yeah.
And usually that's I like to call it thinking out loud. Or like I need to hey, I need to talk, I need to present to you, or I've said another word in the past. It's just rubber ducking. So like, ooh, I need to have a little rubber duck on me, and I'm just like, why do you need to make it like this consumerist Reddit chungus? I have to go buy a rubber duck to explain the code to the rubber duck, as opposed to pretend you have someone with you, or go get an actual person in your life. You know? It's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Get a. Knowing them, I'm surprised that they didn't go get a Funko Pop.
Probably fucking like if we didn't have AI vibe coding everything, Redditors would probably be like, "Ooh, it's called Funko Popping now. You have to tell your Funko Pop how your code works." It's just reading out loud. That's all it is. Read your code out loud. See if it makes sense. Because that's what we just did now.
Yeah.
I didn't rubber duck you when I didn't rubber duck you when I asked how does the camera get updated. Like when does the new point change? And you were like there, and I was like, oh right. And then you realized in your head you didn't rubber duck back to me saying, well, Mr. Thief, actually, when it first gets assigned, it gets assigned in the physics process. You just realized in your brain, wait a minute, and scrolled up.
I scrolled up and I'm just like, and I noticed and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the same name.
You didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Even simpler, you didn't rubber duck. You just scrolled because hey, I need to check the code, and then you were, wait a minute, that's happening every frame. That's the problem right there.
It was the fact of, wait a minute, that's not the new camera point. It's the variable for the update camera system, so it's the wrong thing. So I had to fucking update.
It's always good to quote sanitize your variables and not pull from outside the function when you don't have to. Like the reason we reset T is because we have to reset T because T gets assigned outside this function and then fed in. Whereas all these you could argue the same for new point rather than new camera point. It's just I like to have them separate so that anything I do in the function doesn't apply back to the thing that's being fed into the function until I say it does. You know? Because if you just did it straight from the thing, you wouldn't have as fine-tuned control. Because well, not in this example, it's not as simple, but like T, for example, right?
Mhm.
So feeding in the lerp weight, right? T is constantly going up, and so is lerp weight. But resetting lerp weight won't then actually make the counter start going up again, right? Because that's defined by the letter T. So it's a way to it says, I guess, sanitize or compartmentalize the things. It's better in other functions, but it's good practice, I think. Which is why the set action is a thing, and why we do T, and why we do is traveling, because it's better to take the thing outside of the function when that's required than it is to just whatever. I think I explained it the first time, and explaining it 4 times over is a bit redundant.
So yeah, That was another thing I ended up doing is setting up the set action within the camera
Yeah,
itself. So
good. That controls whether or not you have control.
yeah,
You obviously will have to. The way I think of it is, for the taking cover, by the way, is don't feed into the update camera point thing. Just have it be a toggle on and off lerp where you lerp between the first position and back. It doesn't even have to check that it's true. Just if crouch is on, turn off action, or whatever. Like if crouch is on, turn off shooting, or whatever fucking way you want to do that.
yeah.
And if crouch is off, re-enable it, and you just lerp like that. But it's just the crouch function, right?
Mhm.
It's not the update camera system. It's the crouch system, and it will look similar to the update camera system. It will also use the physics process to move between crouching and uncrouching, but they're separate so that you don't have to write an extra special case in the update camera system specifically for crouching and uncrouching, because you might crouch and uncrouch as many times as you want, or sorry, go into cover and out of cover as much as you want,
Right.
and you don't want to have to fiddle with that. Just make it its own separate thing. Still uses the same logic of you'll need the physics process, you'll need a counter, you'll need to lerp with that counter. It's just it's separate so that you don't muddy the water. Also, whilst we're doing it, go up to your physics process. Okay, I just want to make sure because you got is traveling, right? So what you would do is you'd have like a if I don't know.
There is the check if there is an action point here in the camera system. So maybe using that.
Yeah, but we don't want to
No.
muddy the camera system, right? What you want to do is I'm trying to think of the way you do it because let's say you say if is crouching, right, or is cover. That's good. Like that. That only really works for going into cover. Doesn't really make sense for coming out of cover. So you want a counter so that you can lerp like this, but you don't want and you need a boolean to know what the input is. So it'll be something like I mean, I feel like a for loop works. So I would do it like because the cover speed will basically be the same every time, right? So like there's no variables there that you need to figure. So I would probably just do it like I'd make it super quick, like probably 0.9 in terms of lerp speed.
Yeah.
And I would just have it so that when you crouch, for like I don't know, 10 iterations, or while like make a new variable that's also like t2, while t2 is less than number, do a quick lerp, and then break out, and then the variable is cover is basically checking which direction you're going, left or right.
Right. I would
so
say
if you are not in cover,
it's-
go left into cover,
Yeah.
and if you're in cover, go right, and then also that determines whether or not you can shoot, because that will be saying like is action false, is action true. But I'll leave you be.
Alrighty.
Peace out.
Peace.
Yo. Since I'm gone, you can turn off your Discord stream.
Oh yeah, duh.
Just thought I'd tell you so that you're not wasting. There you go. Peace out.
Peace.
Boo.
Alright, brain is fried. I'll be back another time. Probably tomorrow. Have a good one.